Not every cat walks into the perfect home on the first try. Some take a longer, winding road. Bruno is one of them. This funny tuxedo cat changed several households before transforming one forever. Bruno's story begins not in a cozy apartment or a suburban living room, but on a small, isolated farm near Whitchurch-Stouffville, Ontario. His mother was a stray, and when the litter arrived, the farmers had no intention of keeping the kittens. Fortunately, someone with a bigger heart stepped in and rescued one of them. It was a tiny, wide-eyed kitten who had absolutely no idea what kind of adventure was ahead of him. His rescuer named this cute kitten Luna. It was a perfectly lovely name. There was just one small problem. Luna was not, in fact, a girl. It took several months before the truth came to light. Luna was a boy, and not just in the ordinary sense. He had a condition called cryptorchidism, where one or both testicles failed to descend. With a medical quirk, a naming mix-up, and a lot of personality, little Bruno was already one of a kind. The name Luna stuck around for a while longer, because here's the thing, it didn't really matter. He was loved. His family called him by countless nicknames, the way you do when a cat has fully taken over your heart. Still, something wasn't quite right about the fit. Before finding his permanent home, Luna visited several potential families, none of whom turned out to be the right match. Responsible cat people understand this. Finding the right environment for a cat, especially one with a distinct personality, matters far more than rushing the process. So Luna kept looking. Or rather, Luna kept being looked at, assessed, and ultimately left without a home. Meanwhile, across town, another family was going through something much harder than a naming mix-up. They had just lost their beloved cat Milo to pancreatic cancer. Milo's absence left a wound that went beyond just missing one cat. It changed the whole atmosphere of the household. The remaining cats, Pablo and Leo, felt it too. Leo's 14th birthday celebration was not the same without Milo, and younger Pablo especially seemed to be searching for something, for company, for a friend. So their family began thinking about adding another cat to the crew. Not a kitten, but an older cat, somewhere around 4 or 5 years old, one who needed a home just as much as Pablo needed a companion. That's a specific kind of wish. And the universe, in its own unhurried way, was already arranging an answer. That answer was Luna, the mischievous tuxedo cat, just like Milo was.
She's always gonna have beef with me. Look at this. Look at my hand. Look at this. Look at the scratch mark. And then look at the bite mark that he just did. You see that? Ah? He literally doesn't like me sometimes.
When Luna visited this particular home for the first time, something shifted. There's no dramatic story about the moment. There was no slow-motion meeting or instant best friendship. But something felt right. And shortly after that visit, Luna officially joined the family.
You'll be fine. Look at you. I love your little mittens. You don't like me touching you? I love touching you. You're so cute.
Along with a new beginning came a new name. Luna became Bruno.
Luna. I'm gonna rename you to Bruno. It's gonna be super cute.
Now, renaming a 5-year-old cat is a bit like telling someone who's been called by a nickname their whole life to just go by their formal name from now on. Bruno was not immediately on board. He didn't recognize it, and he didn't come when called.
Bruno. Bruno.
He eventually accepted the new name. This cat didn't care about the name. He was happy to be in the right home, with the right people and feline friends. The settling-in period required patience. Learning the rhythms of a new home, figuring out where the sunny spots were, deciding which humans could be trusted and how quickly. None of it happened overnight. But it happened. Slowly, surely, beautifully. And Bruno and Pablo found each other. A bond formed, the kind that brings fresh energy into a home without disturbing the peace that older members like Leo need to thrive. Pablo was very happy with a new friend for midnight zoomies and house explorations, while Leo, chill as always, welcomed a new tuxedo guy with open paws. A new trio was formed, and it was adorable.
Why are you guys all so busy?
As he settled in, Bruno's personality came fully into focus. When no one was around to play with him, he didn't just sit there looking dejected. He picked up his toys and tossed them into the air himself, entertaining an audience of none with complete commitment. He also kneaded like a pro, soothing himself with blankets at the same time. When this hobby of his was shared online, the video sparked an unexpectedly passionate debate in the comments between people who call it kneading and those who firmly insist it's called making biscuits, or, more dramatically, sin biscuits. The internet, as always, had opinions. But whatever we call this, we can all agree it's adorable. But the moment that perhaps best captures who Bruno really is came after a gentle scolding. He had done something, the details aren't important, and was quietly reprimanded for it. He looked up, and his eyes were watery, not crying in the human sense, but something unmistakably soft and searching past across his face as though he genuinely worried he had let someone down.
Bruno, are you really crying? Bruno.
It was the kind of moment that stops you completely. A reminder that cats carry more emotional depth than they're usually given credit for, and that they notice far more than we think. Bruno's journey, from several families that weren't quite right to finally landing exactly where he was meant to be, is a story worth telling. Because it's a kind of story that happens all the time. There are countless Brunos out there, older cats with full personalities and tender hearts, sitting in shelters or bouncing between homes, waiting for someone patient enough to say yes. The perfect cat isn't always the youngest one in the room. Sometimes the perfect cat is the one who has already lived a little, already learned how to love, and is simply waiting for the right person to love back.
What are you doing? Bruno? What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? You're not having it. Stop it! What is up with you guys on my TVs? Look at that face.